Hello, hello, guys. I'm so grateful that you tune in to Love and Beloved platform. I actually have an amazing news to share with you, and I will tell you a little bit about the story, how it's come about. But for now, dun, 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 I am certified Christian leadership life coach. And that's totally God's story. So check this out. If you don't know me, I'm Lina Cebula. I'm a wife and a mother of three beautiful children. I am human trafficking and drug addiction and alcohol addiction survivor. But today I am speaker. I'm author. I wrote my spiritual autobiography called Miraculous, which is my journey from hell to heaven. And another one, I'm trying to read this. And another one, it's fantastic book. We just did a book launch not too long ago. It's called Breaking the Silence, Voices of Survivors. And the portion of proceeds go to Fight for Freedom. If you know me, that I support this organization because they fight against human trafficking. And I've been proud member of Zonta for more than a year now, and Zonta is fighting um, for human rights, and they creating the better world for women and girls, and that's what my heart is to serve women. So the coolest part that I've been a hairstylist after I come out from drug addiction and human trafficking. I needed to learn trade, and by the grace of God, I went to um, the secondary education here in Canada and government credit school cosmetology course, and I finished that. I became a hairstylist, and I've been hairstylist for 16 years. And actually, I had a dream to own the business. And the coolest part about that, that I had a huge dream one day to be a salon owner. What was not part of the plan of building my empire, that I'm gonna meet a boy, fall in love, have three kiddos, and when they just went to school, I thought this is the time to launch the business. I don't know in what like what world I thought that my 4-year-old twins and my what like 7-year-old or whatever if they're four, then it's 9-year-old actually independent just because they ate and slept already by themselves and have a routine. Honestly, yeah. I do believe like I've been driven by make it something out of myself because I didn't believe that being a wife and a mother brought me value as a person, as a human, as a woman. And I had so much trauma. And actually, I was trying to, with this work, to get worth and value. And it's been such amazing privilege actually to try everything because I thought that if I become a hairstylist and build my empire with the children and run this race of grind and perform and all this stuff, then it's gonna be getting me peace and bring me worth and value. But being Christian since 2011, God been healing my identity. He was healing my past. He was healing my body, mind, soul, and spirit. So today, I wish I would just be mama and take care of my sweet babies. But you know what? I have an opportunity to do this right now as well. So the coolest part that God does not waste anything. So one moment, please. My apologies, honestly. My apologies, honestly. If you hear this crazy blasting music upstairs, I couldn't turn off the alarm when I ordered Siri from my phone because she couldn't find it. But I literally sometimes so busy in the office that I forgetting to feed the dogs. So my husband literally blasting this, like, I don't know, heavy metal or something like that. So I can go and turn off the alarm and feed the poor creature and maybe feed myself as well. So now I just gonna listen to that song. Hopefully it's gonna turn up by itself. But it's totally distracting me. But anyway, the coolest part about it that God does not waste anything, like anything. And when I was praying on the second year, like it was right before COVID, I was praying to God to help me because there was no anointing on that business because I don't know if you have faith or you just exploring or you go your own way, but you definitely know that if you do not have um not the passion, like we definitely have passion about work, but if your business grow but your relationship fall apart, your health fall apart, your home life fall apart, when you like depressed, stressed, overweight, have no clarity, all over the place, angry, hungry, don't have time to exercise or actually have like any like balance in your life, then this is not the right way to live and you feel that something is off. So that's what happened to me. So I got my dream come true, but it was so terrible. And I was praying to God, like, please help me, save me, show me where to go. And I clearly heard him say, this is not the work you should be doing. And of course, like a mature Christian, I closed my business and I said, let's go, God, where are you leading me? No, are you kidding me? Like my first thought when I heard that, and I already was mature Christian, I thought, no way God want me to give up on my dream. I didn't think in that moment that this dream killing me, killing my marriage, killing my relationship with my children, my home and myself and everything else. All I thought, I wanted this for 16 years. God would never do this to me. He loves me. He would never close my this path that I strive and invest my effort and money and time. And now I have this experience. Now I'm so good at what I do. And what? What now? Like, what's my husband gonna think? That I'm a failure? What other people gonna think? Like, what is this? So I said no, and I dragged that thing for another year. And you know what? It got busier, it got more stressful, and theirs was just hell broke loose around me. So I had literally no choice just to close the business. But on top of that, I need to like move my kids to another school. I thought of selling the house. It was like discord. And finally, when I closed my salon, literally, I felt like this storm around me just calm down supernaturally. It was so much peace when I was obedient to God. And it's interesting though, I kept my house, my kids went to another school, everything worked out like for the best. And I start asking God, okay, what do you want me to do now? And he said, go rebuild relationship with your family. And it took me another 6, 7 months to actually go through the healing process with my children and with my husband as well. So what interesting, oh, and with myself, because it's very important part, because it's all start with that self-awareness, how I'm still um, believe the lies from before, and I have to dig deep. So, and of course, like I hired the expert, I have counseling therapy, and that another can of worms I'll tell you about. But the coolest part that when everything kind of was stable. So somewhere in April 2019, I closed my business. In August 2019, I published my spiritual autobiography called Miraculous. And it's funny because that was such a perfect time because I worked on that book for last 3 years while I was working at as a hairstylist. And literally in 2015, God called me to share my story. And I actually didn't speak about it for 20 years. Even my husband didn't know my past. Right before marriage, I actually offered him the letter to know who I am because I knew that I don't deserve to be a wife and a mother. So I want him to choose me. But he chose not to read that. So it's interesting. When the book went to the publisher, I said to him, do you want to read the book or you want to know the story? And he said, I want to know the story. So I told him like so much more than was in that book. So all he said that you've been healed and this book has a purpose. And number one purpose was for God, it's to heal me. Because when he called me to look into my past, he didn't call me when I was baby Christian. I was already 5 years, 5 years like around that with Christ. So he loved me, he healed me, he brought me to a place that I was belong. I was part of the church family. And it's so interesting because I didn't want to share this story. I was asking him, why are you making me do this right now? People see me by this persona that I created, that I'm volunteering in the meal ministry. I am running Alpha. I have 3 kids. I have a business, husband. Everything's good. Why you want me to tell them? And he literally put it on my heart that every time somebody asking me how I came to Canada, I lie. So he goes, what kind of Christian are you? Not in these words, but I realized that I am a lying Christian and that's not what I want to do. So I thought he asking me to share my story to actually help somebody else. Because trust me, when you read my book or know my story, you definitely at the end can ask the question to God or like present this question to God. If you did that for her, you definitely can do this for me. If you give her life, peace, joy, and wholeness again after this kind of trauma, after that behavior, that means like I can be safe too. That's why I thought it's gonna happen. And I hope and pray it's gonna happen after you read my book. But God saved my life through this book. It gave me so much revelation because before that, I thought I have my life before Christ and after Christ. After I baptized, He took away my sin, and that's how I live. I live in freedom like I never sinned. So that's what I thought. But then He showed me that he was there when I was praying and calling on him when I was 6 or 7. Then he showed me another time that I was like overdosing on drugs and I prayed for him to help me and he saved me. Then I came from the brothel to the Wailing Wall in Jerusalem and pray for his help and he showed up. And then more and more and more and more, I just saw this God's faithfulness and his hand in my life like through all my life. Sometimes we think like, oh, if I'm in the pit of despair, God is not there. Or if I'm really good and I can feel his presence, he is there. But in the Bible, he says like, I need you in your mother's womb. And he knows everything from that moment and before that moment. The point is that I realized that he was so faithful to me and he walked with me and there was purpose for everything that I'm going through. But it's so interesting. And just come back from the Christian ladies retreat and this phrase like really stuck with me because sometimes like we have this misconception or lie that we actually sit and waiting for God um to make decisions for us and all this stuff. but God made us free. So the life we create, we do it with the partnership with Him. So He does impossible, but we still have to take action. And sometimes we messed up with our action. And that's what I was thinking, that I messed up so much with my action and because of my environment, like what was happening to me. But He used everything for good. Literally, like I screw up, He take me and He still lead me and guide me and walk beside me, and He brought me here today. And honestly, somebody on a podcast said, would you take another life if God would offer you an opportunity to start from the clean slate and have like no rape, no abuse, no death of your firstborn, no abortions, no the drug abuse, no physical abuse? Would you take it? And literally, I have a moment that like I got so scared. I even like have these watery eyes. Like I thought like I'm gonna break down crying in fear that my life could be switch and different. I don't want another life. I don't want anybody's life. I don't want a better life. I don't want any other life but this one. And I honor everything that happened to me because it made me in the woman who I am today. And guess what? This diploma actually uh, a validation in the fact that God created me for this purpose. He allowed me to go through this for this purpose to help others. But first, it have to build me. It have to refine that woman who gonna go through all these challenges in life and come out victorious with His help for His glory. So there's a little bit a background, but I start selling my book, I start sharing my story, and it's so cool because when the light was shed into that darkness of the human trafficking abuse, I realized that Dell was lying to me for 20 years. He said, you gonna be rejected, and it's number one fear for me was before because of my family, my parents, and all that stuff. So huge trauma, like post-traumatic stress disorders, and all that stuff was rooted in that. One of the things. And then they're gonna stone you, they're gonna shame you, and all that. Just guess what? I've been doing this since 2019. No person ever come to me and said, oh, it's nonsense, blah, 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 blah. Honestly, people loved on me, took care of me, care for me, share their own stories. And literally, there was no judgment, no rejection. And that's what God told me. He said, just trust me. So all this path of the, bring the darkness to light, He kept saying to me, just trust me. And that's what I did. I step out in obedience to Him to write this book. But in the process, He healed me. He healed my relationship with my family. He healed my relationship with myself. And it was such a beautiful process. I didn't realize that it's it's gonna create such a huge impact in my maturity and my faith and my relationship with God, because that's how He works. He first works with us, and then we serve from overflow to other people. Because yes, so cool. Um, yes, so they continue the story. The coolest part that he led me to the speaking coach, and then I create my signature tag and start sharing my story. But I heard him saying in my like spirit, you need more, you need more. So I was asking what more. And literally every time I'm coming to the networking event through COVID time, we didn't do much speaking events, but I didn't do because I was really new at this. But I show up to anywhere that's having any opportunity. So I spoke to lots of coaches, and they asked me, "What else you offer? What else you offer?" And I'm like, "I don't offer anything." But they said, "How you connect with all these people who hear your story, read your book, and would like to know how you did it, what helped you. And I said, I don't know, I don't know. And then for probably like through whole COVID, I have maybe 20 people told me that I should be a life coach. And it's so interesting because I do believe in science, like into science, like not superstition, but I do believe when I hear something few times that God, that's how God speak to me. But so far, I have like huge experience when God personally speaks to me, and I have very sensitive spirit, and I obey as much. Like I want to say I obey all the time. I obey eventually sometimes, but that's what Grace does. He just loving on me anyway. Like he's he's little hooligan child. Sometimes I do stuff fast. Sometimes like it's taking me a while to get there. But the coolest part that he's still never leave me, never forsake me, never give up on me. Sometimes I feel like he look at me and I'm running around. I'll do it myself. I'll do it myself. Like I don't know if you have kids and you have this situation, and then when in the end of my rope I'm like, oh daddy, help me, and he goes, you done? Okay, let's go, I help you. So that's kind of beautiful relationship that I have. So I didn't even realize that all those 20 people saying the same thing, and that's sometimes how long it take me to get that it's God talking to me. But the coolest part that when like coolest, like it's funny first, like it was very interesting because I thought, oh, maybe it's about the coaching gonna be about therapy or counseling or trauma based, and I just cannot do that because it's too close for me, and I take so much stuff personally, and it just affecting my well-being. So that's why I said, no, I'm too busy, it's too difficult, I have to go learn again. And I just kind of was running away from it. But then one of my friends uh, offered me to be coachee for her exam on this exactly program. So I said yes, because I thought like, wow, cool. 5 sessions of free coaching, I'll take it. But it was interesting though, because we actually put the plan in place. Um, because one of the pattern I see in my life to be, worth and value in what I do as a wife and a mother. Um, and I saw the pattern that every time I get hurt, for example, I have so many injuries from my past, and not only abuse from the sports as well. So sometimes my shoulders getting like really out of whack, and I have a like injury with some of the like muscles, but I still would vacuum or mop, and it's got to the point that my arm wasn't moving at all. So I have to go through like long time of rehab. And that's what I noticed through my life. Rather than recover, I actually push through because I'm thinking, house have to be clean, everything have to be this. Oh, like my husband not gonna love me, or my children like not gonna love me, all that nonsense. So we actually put in place plan that number one, I'm gonna go to God. Then number two, I'm gonna get accountability person who gonna ask me how I feel for like every Friday, from 1 to 10. Then I'm gonna do recover guilt free. I'm gonna go to physio. So I gonna be priority in that time, because I realize that when I'm not priority, when I give in into the stupid thoughts, then my mental health spiral after my physical health, then I get into depression, then I fight months, like, and like weeks and months sometimes through depression, then I finally come out when it's all so bad that I end up in a hospital and then rehab this for 6 months, or I just come out from the depression and thinking, whoa, I need to take action to take care of this. So honestly, it was ridiculous, but and so much pain, to so much trauma. So I put that plan in place, and literally it was the best thing that I ever did for myself. So I just stuck to the plan when I had the most difficult times in my family, and I got through. I got through those times because I was stable, spiritually, physically, mentally. I didn't go to wine and food and whining to actually mitigate my pain. I was staying so close with my eat, sleep, exercise, with all this stuff. And actually, that plan got me through. And after probably a year putting that plan in progress or process, whatever, I realized I want to do this for women. I want to support women. I want to be that person in the corner because guess what? Even like my daughter, when she was little, she said, Mommy, how come you don't have snacks and we have snacks? And I laughed at her because you have mama and I don't. And guess what? We put in ourselves like lust. And we do have to be priorities because when we fall apart, everything fall apart. We have to be mommy for ourselves. But I would be that person who be in your corner when you need support. So the coolest part about it, when I decided to go to this Christian leadership life coach, and she said to me, "Oh, you have to pass the interviews and get the application going and all that stuff." So when I was talking to my coach to get into this program, I keep praying. I said to God, I hope it's from you. I don't want to burn out again. I don't want to go somewhere that you don't call me. Please, please, please show me the sign. Make sure that I'm in the right place. And it's so interesting because when the coach say, yes, it sounds like you're a good fit for our program, I'm gonna send you application. And then end up he's saying, a woman with the same last name was taking this program. And I realized was my mother-in-law. So I actually was so blessed by that as well. But the coolest part when I opened that book, the training about the training, and start underline everything. I didn't read any of the books that I would underline every page because that page was an amazing, not the page, but all of this course was huge self-development tool for me. And it's interesting though, because it taught me be more and more like Jesus. And it was such an amazing experience. So after first day reading that book, I say to God, how come you didn't call me faster, sooner to this place? And he said, really? All those people saying to you, same thing, you have to be life coach, you have to be life coach. What did you say? I'm too busy, that's not my thing, it's too different, it's scary, and la 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 la. I say, okay, I guess, but I'm so grateful that I'm here. I say, how come like it wasn't as fast? And he said he wasn't ready. And now I was. So it was 1.5 year it took me to actually get this license or certification. And I talked to my coach and he said, that's why we're doing that long and have so many hours. I think like it's over 100 hours altogether that I invested in coaching or peer coaching and client coaching and audit coaching. So I would get the confidence being a coach. And so interesting though, when I closed the salon, all this time, the devil was hunting me that I don't have any skills. And I was whining. I kid you not. Like I felt like my dream died. I don't know anything. And I was literally was even jealous of people who was, I don't know, were working on the road, those construction workers. And I would drive and say, oh, I bet they professionals. I bet they know what they do, and I bet they invested their time and effort in learning this profession. I bet they make money. I bet they have the status of like or anything like that. Anyway, it was on and on and on. And then I have to stop. I'm like, honestly, this is unacceptable. And God literally showed me first two homeworks that we did for my coaching was about the skills that we accommodate uh, or acquire from our life or we born with that. And literally I have to Google and I'm like, I don't have any skills. So I Google what skills are. And actually, you know what's funny? There was nothing about hairstyling. It was all about thinking outside the box, making decision fast, um, to be like the confidence and all this stuff. Anyway, there was like 10 different skills that I was like, this is me, this is me. I have this, I have this, I have this. I was mind blown that I actually have all the skills that it was listed. And then through the coaching, I realized not only I have that, I actually have tons of skills that I've been born with. Like I am super curious. I can observe stuff that people don't see. And I know this about myself, but I never thought it's a skill and it's something unique to me. Then another thing that I realized there's so many things that I got through my life because of the human trafficking, because of the abuse. I have to be like super focused when I'm talking to the person. I literally almost can read them. I see the eyes movements. Or I see all like my body in intuition can pick up on stuff and can hear stuff that other people would miss. But it's so interesting now. It's make me intuitive coach. Now when I coach my ladies and I hear something, I'm like, why did you say that? How come when you were saying that everything was positive, but one word was negative? Why did you say that? Why do you look that? Why did you move that? And that's where we're going, that sometimes it's so unique that they wouldn't go there by themselves or with someone else because nobody ever asked them these questions. So more and more I'm working with women, it's make me understand how much I love this work and how much and how confident I feel doing this work. And then I realize I didn't change. Like, okay, maybe not like that. Actually, um, just a moment, just double check somebody calling me and make sure it's not the school or the work. So the coolest part is, do you know what I've been doing as a hairstylist for 16 years? Aside from doing the hair and putting the colors and doing the haircuts and stuff, if you ever been in a hairstylist chair, when you have a processing those colors for 40 minutes plus, maybe sometimes like if you do highlights in the color, it's 1.5 hours. What else you do while it's processing? You tell your hairstylist your life story. So honestly, on top of my work doing hair, I was mentoring women. I was loving on women. I was trying to make them and confident and beautiful and support them in any way I can. I love supporting women because I want their life to be better. You know why? Because I know how hard and terrible it can be. And guess what? I am better. And I know that there's healing. And I know there's like huge possibilities of hope and love and joy and peace. I know that because I went through that. So being a hairstylist, I want to give back. I want to support women. So my heart didn't change. because still with my coaching, that's what I want to do. I want to help them to become you, to become an assertive individuals and confident and have clarity and have like no confusion and stuff. Actually, I will read what I send it to my coach because he said they're gonna put that on their website. So I'm gonna be on Christian leadership website so people can hire me from there too. So that's what I wrote. As a certified Christian leadership life coach, wife, and a mother of three, I understand the pressure and challenges of balancing home and work life in today's fast-paced world. Women often feel overwhelmed, exhausted, and isolated, struggling with stress and lack of clarity. When coaching with me, you can expect a supportive and empowering coaching experience tailored to your unique needs and goals. My aim is to provide you with tools, insights, and guidance you need to unlock your highest potential and create a life filled with purpose, passion, and fulfillment. During the coaching session, we will explore your aspiration, concerns, and obstacles. And together, we will create a personalized roadmap for your growth and success. My mission is to empower women to prioritize well being, find clarity, rediscover themselves, and move forward with confidence. And let's navigate the journey together and discover the strength and support you need to thrive. And this is my heart. Literally, I didn't change. My heart didn't change. I still my goal to love, support, and help women. So I'm so grateful for this opportunity, and I'm so grateful for everything that happened to me. And I'm so grateful how God leading me to actually help others. So, yeah, welcome to Love and Beloved platform and new level. And if you heard something that would touch your heart and you want to share, or you would like to have complimentary discovery call, just please go to linasibula.ca. It's my website where you can connect with me through. Or you can email me at linasibula@gmail.com. See you later. God bless. And know that you're significant and your life is valuable. Have a wonderful day, my friends.